apa yang I bawa di Lenggong adalah similar dengan apa yang I lalui masa camping di Europe naik motor tu. So actually this is how the Lenggong was born lah actually. So you bayar satu kepala RM50. So kat situ ada bilik air, ada kafe, ada swimming pool, ada apa ni some other facilities macam ada buaian untuk bergambar. Then the nature was so cool lah in Lenggong. To be frank with you, my ATV in Kemensah tu pun dalam hutan juga. Tapi Lenggong ni bagi saya untouchable. Dan lagi satu, yang paling mahal kat Lenggong is the sound of gibbon. Gibbon ni dia hanya berbunyi di atas gunung saja. Kalau di hutan-hutan yang rendah-rendah ni tak ada gibbon, yang ada kera atau mungkin ada beruk. Tapi gibbon ni hanya di hutan tinggi. So hutan tempat sejuk. Sebab gibbon ni you kalau perasan, you tengok dia punya bulu ni tebal. Sebab dia ni memang Allah Ta'ala buat, Tuhan buat dia untuk tinggal di tempat sejuk. So bila sampai kat Lenggong, when I first wanted to buy the land, I dengar bunyi gibbon, I was stunned. I was say, ada bunyi gibbon. Kalau kita nak dengar bunyi gibbon, biasanya lah, my experience kena pergi zoo. Kecuali kalau you naik gunung, you kaki gunung, you naik, masa you daki gunung, you akan dengar bunyi gibbon. And then, kat Lenggong ni, setiap pagi, you akan dikejutkan oleh bunyi gibbon. Kalau yang Lenggong yang di atas lah, di atas bukit. I'm talking about Masbuk Hidden Village. I tak pasti yang lain, tempat lain. Tapi di Masbuk Hidden Village, every morning without fail, gibbon akan berbunyi. So gibbon ni biasanya apabila dia berbunyi tu bagi I is like a sound lah. It's a voice of nature. So this is where I cakap dengan Muzamil, kita letak voice of nature. So for me the gibbon, and then kat dalam tu one of the main reason Masbuk Hidden Village ni I buat Masbuk Hidden Village ni di tempat situ, salah satu tiada penempatan kampung. Mana di situ tiada kampung. Tempat I seorang je. Rumah yang terdekat you kena keluar jalan besar, it's about 1.8 km to 2 km. Penempatan kampung yang terdekat. So apabila dia tak ada kampung, you can listen to every single sound of the nature. So tak ada bunyi kereta, tak ada bunyi motor, tak ada orang lalu lalang. So you boleh dengar setiap bunyi yang keluar. Bunyi katak malam-malam, bunyi cengkerik, bunyi riang-riang, bunyi burung, bunyi gibbon. In fact, bunyi babi hutan pun kadang-kadang you dengar. So bagi I that is a real voice of nature. Actually itulah sedikit lebih kurang how I created Lenggong. Kalau kita nak buat camping, for example in Europe orang naik motor, everybody go camping. But in Malaysia, kalau if I do that, if I sell the camping place macam kat Europe, you bayar satu kepala you boleh camp, I rasa tak laku. Sebab kita punya weather is our main factor. Kat Europe mungkin kita boleh camping mana-mana pun sebab cuaca sejuk. Jadi tak ada isu kipas, aircon. Tapi kalau kat Malaysia ni kita kena cari tempat yang sesuai untuk jual camping dan camping lifestyle ni belum betul-betul melular dalam masyarakat kita. Hanya separuh orang je yang enthusiast in camping, camping kaki lah. Tapi so Lenggong ni macam is a beginning of for you to know how the camping look like. Because I sediakan pondok orang asli tu, tapi you kena bawa bantal sendiri, you kena bawa tilam sendiri macam camping. You boleh bawa your cooking utensil sendiri, so you can cook yourself. Tapi you duduk dalam you tak payah buka kemah, you duduk dalam rumah orang asli yang agak safe lah. Safe, lepas tu kita punya toilet, memang toilet kita ada gambar toilet lah. Yeah, this is actually the landscape yang I design. Landscape ni kita design sendiri, my imagination. Kalau kat Bosnia, kalau you perasan, ada satu resort di mana dia punya chalet, bawah chalet tu air mengalir. That was so stunning lah, that resort. But I can't do it because of air yang kita ada tak cukup besar untuk lalu kat bawah chalet. So I design such a way there is a stream at the center of the land, whereby all the chalet is facing the stream. So at any corner of the resort, you can listen to the sound of water. For me, it's a voice of nature. So the sound of water at every corner of the resort. So what we're trying to focus here, no disturbance, bunyi motor, bunyi kereta, bunyi. There is no karaoke at my place because I don't allow that. Because the reason is I want you to enjoy the voice of nature. So if you really love the weather, especially malam kita tengok shooting star, wow. Malam tutup lampu for half an hour, you can see millions of stars if the sky is clear. And kita gunakan atap nipah. Okay, actually the dream, my dream, I memang teringin sangat nak buat resort yang atap nipah semua. So, that is the so dapatlah buat resort atap nipah semua. Lepas tu nak dinding buluh. So dinding buluh ni memang ada problem lah sebab maintenance dia ada bubuk. Lepas tu tapi one thing good about dinding buluh ni is almost 80% of my customer, 80% tak akan buka kipas pada waktu malam. 80% sebab cukup sejuk. Malam memang sejuk. So the sejuk is bukan kita atas gunung ke apa ke. Sebab we are surround opportunity dari pembalakan berlaku berdekatan. Kadang-kadang bila hujan, sad to say, air sungai tu jadi keruh lah. Yang lain tu okey lah, acceptable lagi lah. Belum lagi orang datang nak naikkan Lenggong ni sebenarnya, for me, if you ask me, I have a I am actually what I'm doing pun I tak berani nak cakap tempat ni akan berjaya sebab it's a try and error. Business is always like that. So bila balik daripada UK punya tour sebulan lebih naik motor, so I come up with this idea and so far alhamdulillah kalau tak ada PKP penuh. Memang penuh. And I'm happy to see makcik-makcik yang dulu very stylo Milo, and slowly they go to a camping lifestyle, a nature lifestyle. Dia dah start masak kat depan chalet, lepas tu dia start appreciate the nature, the sound. I told them pagi-pagi you akan dengar bunyi gibbon, lepas tu pagi-pagi kalau you nak tengok, you duduk atas awan, you kena jalan kaki half an hour, kita ada awan nano, about half an hour walk. Then kita punya, this is my, I tahu orang Malaysia ni dia very particular dalam toilet. In fact everybody lah toilet mesti bersih. Kalau kita pergi Europe pun, minta maaf I selalu tersebut Europe ni sebab actually this is where I get a lot of ideas. Minta maaf, it's not to say that you know I mendewakan Europe, tidak tapi kita terpaksa terima hakikat dia orang punya pelancongan quite advanced. Dan orang dia selalu pergi ke outdoor ni. So kalau kita tengok toilet ni sebenarnya simple je, tak perlu mahal pun. This is where orang cakap toilet kena mahal, tak perlu. I tilekan dia, lepas tu kita bersihkan, I designate my staff to bersihkan toilet every 1 hour. Every 1 hour dia akan masuk, dia akan lap, dia akan mop, so the toilet look clean. And okay, the market segment, okay, this is where you can tap the market segment mid to high-end people. So mid to high-end ni, dia orang very difficult for them to accept a lifestyle of nature. Camping, very difficult. For me, it's very difficult. To persuade them to come and do camping, they really ask this and that. And then until now also, some of them when I'm answer the question, tempat you tak ada aircon ke? So I pun nak cakap susah. Sebab that is beyond. Memang tak terfikir pun orang katanya, ada aircon ke tempat tu? So memang tempat ni dah nature kan, memang kita memang tak ada aircon. Tapi dia belum rasa. Dia datang baru dia tahu dia tak perlu buka kipas pun. In fact siang, kalau kat kafe I memang tak ada kipas langsung. So you duduk kat kafe, memang susah nak berpeluh because it's very windy and the weather, Muzammil dah tidur 2-3 malam. So Muzammil dah 2-3 kali datang. So itulah actually tak perlu kita buat benda-benda yang macam taman permainan kanak-kanak ke apa ke, tak perlu. Kita gunakan nature tu itself to sell, to attract people to come. We use whatever nature that we have. So yang masalah sekarang education level of pada pandangan saya, minta maaf ya, education level of creating tourist attraction places. So yang itu yang kena ada. Tak perlu tiba-tiba turis datang and tengok berlambak-lambak plastik, berlambak-lambak sampah, nak ada jalan cantik, kena toilet tiles warna putih dengan itu dengan ini, benda tu akan jadi lebih merimaskan. Apa yang kita ada, kita guna nature yang ada pun cukup. For example, the swimming pool ni. Okey, air bukit ni, air swimming pool ni sebenarnya adalah air bukit yang saya ambil 2.2 km jarak dia dari resort. I tak usik air sungai. Ni air bukit ni dulu ada satu rumah Mak Saleh dalam hutan tu. Mak Saleh tu dia buat herbal. Lepas tu dia dah keluar, dia gunakan air bukit tu. So bila dia dah keluar, saya pula gunakan air bukit yang sama. Tapi jauh lah, 2.2 km. Dan it turn up to be the quality of the air. Boleh tengok ni, kita ambil gambar ni, kalau tak silap saya dalam pukul 5 petang ni. 4 petang macam tu lah. So water dia memang very very clear. The reason why, because ada pembalakan berlaku. Sungai tu kadang-kadang jadi keruh. Jadi air tak nak customer tengok alamak sungai keruh. Jadi kita pun rasa benda tu akan merosakkan Lenggong juga bila tengok air sungai keruh ni. Jadi kita terpaksa buat satu kolam. Dan kolam tu kita akan masuk balik ke sungai. So kita pinjam sekejap air bukit tu melalui tempat kita dan pergi ke kolam. Saya pergi ke sungai. And one more thing. Just to share lah. Actually tandas najis, pembuangan najis, semua ada sistem di dalam tanah. Tidak ada air yang mengalir masuk sungai. Walaupun you mandi, air mandian you pun akan masuk ke dalam tanah. Kita tak akan masukkan ke dalam sungai. So, bila dalam tanah dia dah masuk, mungkin dia akan serap dan dia akan tapis pergi ke sungai. So, meaning to say there's no waste yang directly go to sungai. Tak akan ada. So, kita cuba nak maintain benda tu. Dan lagi satu, educate people ni agak susah sikit lah. Pelan-pelan, insyaAllah, kita punya masyarakat boleh terima maintain of the nature. Ada siapa-siapa nak tanya, you may. Insya.
Okay, itu dia. Very good information, Abang Mas. Alright.
Thank you.
Maybe I was very curious about Mas Bro. Okay, what is significant nama dia? So, firstly, Mas, I understand that it is your friendly way. Or what? Yes. What is Bro exactly? Mohon pencerahan, sir.
Actually, the name was given by my first son. I have a small gym in my house, so he named the gym as Mas Bro. So and then everybody, all the dia punya kawan-kawan kat Taman Melawati cakap, pergi gym Mas Bro, pergi gym Mas Bro. It become easy to and more friendly and senang nak sebut. So I just continue lah gunakan nama tu sebenarnya.
Yeah. Thank you. Very interesting. Cuma I was wondering, berdasarkan gambar-gambar yang kita lihat, memang cantik, indah. Oh my God.
Thank you.
It is like paradise in Malaysia. Okay. Now, my question, let's say, if some photography session, okay, photography means pre-shooting, pre-wedding photo shoot, whatever, do you allow this kind of groups to come into your place and take photo? Because there are some audience from currently now who is viewing, even Facebook, there are some team who are doing this pre-wedding photo shoot in your team. Do you allow them this kind of group in your place? Mohan,
yeah, I do allow that, but there is some charges. We charge 5 ringgit for the wedding. We charge 50 ringgit. Okay. Okay, now I'm answering you. Okay, this is a bit hard, right? It's a bit sensitive. Maybe people.
But it is the cheapest on earth.
Thank you.
Cheapest on earth. In some entrance, orang masuk nak ambil gambar pun RM20, RM25. But your place RM5, walk-in customer is super best price. And for the wedding photo shoot, you are charging RM50. I think that is the most cheapest, again, still on earth. Why I say? I've been to this Mas Bro. I have not stayed, but I came for recce. Trust me, it looks like a heaven. So I am the testimony. Memang kalau RM50 for wedding photo shoot, memang berbaloi. So those audience who are now following our session, this is the best part in the world where you can have the beautiful sky view, the forest view, and the village view with the waterfall view. Itu satu. Yang kedua, I'm very impressed when you said that you are having air bukit. Selalunya orang panggil air gunung. Adakah ini air gunung atau air bukit? Which one is which? Mohon pencerahan, sir.
Okay, biasanya air gunung tu dia air gunung dengan air bukit ni almost similar, tapi air bukit ni kita satu gambaran orang kampung panggil air yang kecil. Kalau gunung tu biar macam waterfall tu kita panggil mungkin air gunung, waterfall. So air bukit ni biasanya dia macam air yang kecil, anak air yang lebih kurang dalam 1 atau 2 kaki lebar. Okay, so kita panggil air bukit lah.
Very interesting. The reason why I ask you whether air gunung, air bukit, selalu orang kata kalau air gunung sejuk. Sekarang the audience wants to know, okay, you have the most, how do I say, exciting stream, water stream. Air, kesejukan air dia macam mana? Siang sejuk ke atau malam petang saja sejuk? Atau pagi sejuk? Mohon pencerahan, sir. They want to feel this water now.
Okay, the water is all the way sejuk. All the way sejuk. Normally, I only take my bath not in the morning. It's at 12.
Oh, okay.
So I can see Muzamil doing the same thing also. Tapi Muzamil dia ada sekali tu nampak dia berenang sampai pukul 10 malam ada. Sampai 2 pagi ya, 2 pagi pun dia menyelam. Dia sebab dia banyak lemak sikit.
Okay, perfect. You know, one reason I ask you, sir, when your water is too cold, this is the measure to say that or the surrounding well preserved. Tanya, sir, Tanya.
Yeah, thank you.
Sustainability practice on your tourism activity. Cuma, some of the audience may ask, let's say I want to come have my family gathering in your place. Or I want to bring my students to your place. I want to have some private event. So, Mohon pencerahan, how many units do you have, sir? Chalet? What is the capacity, maximum capacity? And kalau 50 orang contoh, you got how many chalet? And what is the sharing? The pondok punya sharing tu? Mohon pencerahan, sir.
Okay, kita ada 27 chalet. 27 chalet, maksudnya satu chalet is up to the customer. The customer decide whether they want to stay couple, they want to stay with the family or with the friends, or up to your group to choose. For example, if you say, bang, saya nak duduk 2 orang aja bang, tak apa, you boleh duduk 2 orang because the chalet actually is big enough to accommodate up to 5 to 6 people. But if you say you want to duduk 2 orang pun, you hanya bayar satu kepala RM50, you dapat satu chalet juga. Cuma kita tak terima duduk seorang lah. Duduk seorang tu I think is a bit merugikan sangat. Jadi kalau duduk 2 orang hingga ke 5-6 orang terpulang pada customer. Dan maximum kita can accommodate is 135 if I count on 5 people per chalet. So 135 kita kali 50. So if you tapau the whole places will cost you 6750. Meaning to say all the place is belong to you. 6,750. You nak bawa orang kahwin ke, 1 hari 1 malam lah, 2 hari 1 malam lah. You nak bawa orang kahwin ke, you nak bawa apa. On top of that, the camping spot is belong to you. Also belong to you. So you only, yeah.
Very interesting. You know what? Yang berbagai Dato' ya. Sebenarnya
Yeah.
kalau dekat Kuala Lumpur, untuk just for one hall of the schools, okay, dia punya hall sewa saja RM10,000 hingga ke RM15,000. Okay.
Betul.
Now, when you see RM6,700 for the 27 chalet, for the swimming pool, for the bersanding area, whichever they have to find themselves, a place of paradise wedding. Okay, paradise wedding in a private function. I believe.
God willing, yeah.
Many event companies, some of the event companies, our Matex companies, they are also in our Facebook now. I really hope they can really look into your place, how they can make your place as a wedding paradise. Okay.
Yeah, God willing.
I have very curiosity, sir. Some groups, they just don't like to come and spend for staying the nightlife, okay, all this. They want to see other adventures such as, can they do stargazing? Can they do stargazing? Can they do a nature walk or not?
Dia bawa anak kecil, dia takut nak tutup lampu.
Okay.
And then malam memang banyak aktiviti kalau nak buat. Cuma fit dengan tak fit aja. You tahu lah, orang KL ni kadang-kadang dia orang nak pergi adventure, tapi badan macam badan macam Muzamil, nak suruh jalan satu jam kadang-kadang boleh jalan lah, tapi lepas tu kita pengsan 2-3 jam. So it depends. Memang ada kalau nak buat night trekking, it shouldn't be any problem at all. But depends on the group tu rajin ke tidak.
Okay, very interesting, Dato'.
Yes.
Dato', I feel you are very unfair, Dato'.
Yeah.
I feel very unfair. Why? Because Dato' kata tadi kalau badan macam Zamir ke, macam Dato' ke, jangan fikirkan cipta serupa. Okay.
and then sometimes
beside the wonderful paradise for relaxation, for the family swimming pool they have with the beautiful nature sound, and we can do the day nature walk, we can do the night walk. You are one stop center. Cuma satu saja. You did mention earlier that we can cook by ourselves. Okay, 2 questions I have. Will you charge if they want to cook, or you encourage them to cook? Itu nombor 1. Kalau dia nak masak for events and so on, do you have all the facility for events? Let's say dia nak buat barbecue ke, all the tools, do you provide or they have to bring? Itu satu. Let's say some family, they don't want to cook. They just want to come and stay and relax only. Kalau macam itu, can they order food from your cafeteria? Do you provide that service? Mohon pencerahan, Dato'. Thank you.
Okay, I'll strongly advise them to cook themselves. The reason is because FOC, free of charge. It's like camping. You can cook, and then just for your info, we have 12 barbecue set for the customer to use FOC. So they just bring their own arang, and then they can use. And we have the non-Muslim one, 3 barbecue set, and for the non-Muslim one, we have about 7. So in fact, we have another 2. So each FOC, you can use it, you can place it in front of your chalet. As long that you don't burn down the chalet, that's good enough. Okay, you can cook, you can do barbecue, and I would suggest my customer, if they want to do a barbecue, you just imagine, there's one thing that people maybe tak perasan sangat, di Lenggong ni, jagung murah sangat. Jagung RM1 1 biji di Lenggong. Tak ada tempat lain boleh jual jagung RM1 1 biji, and jagung tu jagung madu. The same jagung they supply to Cameron Highland. In Cameron Highland, RM3.
Wow.
But the supplier come from Perak. So only RM1. So actually beautiful.
Dato'.
It's an FOC, Iswaran.
Oh, aku say. Dato'.
Mr. Iswaran.
Yeah, tell me. Zamir, proceed.
Mr. Iswaran, okay. Let me masuk sekejap. Okay, I just want to add that whatever that is mentioned just now, everything about the place, about the Mas Provision Village, that is actually about the place, the place. But we are also discussing about the voice of nature as an activity. The what do you call this? Community-based tourism and also an outcome-based. As you see in the picture, we have actually launched one between the the voice of nature. Di Lenggong berapa bulan lepas sebelum PKP diperketatkan. So it was a community-based tourism, of which now to collaborate whoever wants to do anything CSR project or whatever that is related to the art and Abamas. Okay. And then you can nanti apa ni Abang Mas, can you click the punya ni what do you call this, the button to proceed with the gambar, nanti dia boleh explain apa yang ada, and perhaps after this kita minta some opinion Mr. Iswaran about this voice of nature. This voice of nature dia turut memberi bantuan kepada artis-artis lama untuk sama-sama memberi what do you call to give to do a simple show, not a big concept, just like a girl with engagement with all the people who actually stay there on weekend. So this will eventually lead into a program that we discuss together. We call it the Everyone's is an annual event. Mr. Iswaran. So it's going to be an annual event. That nanti kita explain about, Mas will explain about apa aktiviti yang akan ada. Macam dia cakap tadi yang apa ni, stargazing. There's going to be a stargazing among the player from KL. Stargazing. And then we get a group of photography to take a very nice photo on waterfalls, and that's my sharing, Soren.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, what was very interesting just now, I wanted to share also with the concept of when Maspro applying. Okay, you bring your own food, you cook your own food. This will encourage sustainability tourism, community tourism, whereby indirectly it will encourage the local community to supply food. For example, when Maspro providing 7 barbecue, definitely Lenggong is very popular with deer meat. Okay, 1 kg about 60 ringgit only. Dear audience, dear participant, you want to have I know you have done a barbecue on the goat, whatsoever, but when you go to Lenggong, it is an opportunity for you to do your deer meat barbecue. So are you ready for this? Now we open question for travel agent or those panel. Any question you want to ask directly to our host today, you're most welcome. Zami, we open question. We have only about another 12 minutes to go, Zami.
Okay, let me do some explanation about the photo that appear now. This is masa Abang Fredo menyanyi. So kita very simple and very nature. Abang Fredo basking, and then the stool duduk, then Fredo mix around, entertain, everybody participate, and then it's a private function. It's a very private function. So okay, in fact, kalau tak MCO, there's a few Muzamil dah arrangekan a few artis, termasuk Abang JJ confirm nak datang, but unfortunately because of the MCO kan. And then Jacqueline Victor pun I dah approach because they love the nature. This is the voice of nature. So yelah, tapi nak buat macam mana, dah MCO, but it's okay. Okay, you can see makan ni kita catered, kita bagi keuntungan kepada penduduk setempat. Not even a single cent we collect extra. Okay, catering ni adalah orang kampung masak.
Dato', we have to give you a round of applause. Okay, for this concept. Thank you, Dato'. Thank you, Dato'. Okay, continue.
Catering ni makan malam dia ambil satu kepala RM12. Lepas tu breakfast RM6, makan tengah hari RM12. Muzamil tahu memang kita bagi peluang pada penduduk setempat untuk cari makan. Dan kita punya staff pun semua penduduk setempat. Cuma apa ni kita kena educate dia orang. Because okay, masalah dia education ni penting tau, penting dalam nak tarik pelancong. When I first panggil dia orang buat catering, dia orang buat ayam goreng, dia orang buat makanan yang kita boleh dapat di Kuala Lumpur. Itu masalah dia orang. So you have to educate them. Kita tak nak benda tu. Kita nak makan yang Kuala Lumpur tak jumpa. Macam kebebe. For example, kebebe. Of course lah, kalau Lenggong terkenal dengan dia punya ikan perkasam, dia punya ulam-ulam, dia punya masak lemak memang pure sebab dia punya pokok kelapa banyak kat sana. Dia orang tak perlu beli santan. Dia orang hanya ambil kelapa dia orang, pokok, almost every house, kampung house dia ada pokok kelapa sendiri. And kita cuba nak serapkan. In fact, makan pun kita makan dalam atas daun pisang. Okay, ikan sungai. So biar dia orang faham, orang bandar yang datang Lenggong, orang luar yang datang Lenggong ni dia nak saya bukan datang. Cuma in the same time you must understand about the market segment, the people segment, the market, which market that you going to tap. I divided to three. So if you want to tap for public, then it's going to be a bit problem on the maintaining. Because once your place become crowded, to maintain the crowded places is one thing. So I perasan banyak dalam sektor pelancong jana pendapatan. Atau tempat tu hanya ramai orang macam Jom Heboh. Jom Heboh, everybody go to Jom Heboh, but I don't think Jom Heboh make money from them. Everybody go to Jom Heboh, they want something free to bring back. So this is two things. Ada ada waktu yang kita boleh menjana duit. Seperti orang masuk RM50, nak ambil gambar, RM5. Itu pun dah cukup dah. Tak perlu nak markup dari segi makan, tak perlu nak markup. Okey, kalau you nak bantal, kita ada jual bantal. Kalau you nak selimut, kita ada jual selimut. Bagi saya itu satu benda yang back tu macam Asia punya hotel nanti. Kan? Kita tak bagi selimut tapi kita jual selimut dengan harga mahal. Kita tak bagi bantal, kita jual bantal dengan harga mahal. Jadi kat situ nampak ketidakikhlasan. Jadi biarlah kita berniaga. Ada tempat yang kita boleh buat duit, ada tempat yang forget about it. Bagi orang lain berniaga, orang lain hidup. So itu pandangan saya, Encik Iswaran.
Okay, thank you, wonderful sharing. Zami, the floor you see.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can I can hear you?
Okay.
Come.
Okay. Ada soalan ada soalan about macam mana how to do the booking everything. So apa ni, Alamak, boleh tak I put on the chat box ni your number?
Yes.
Just WhatsApp saja.
Yeah, WhatsApp je.
Then WhatsApp je, and then you will reply them all the details.
Yeah.
What is your number?
012 377
377
5005.
5005.
5.
So you all hanya perlu
WhatsApp je.
WhatsApp.
Just say hi only.
WhatsApp, and then you put apa ni lah, WhatsApp ni Mas Bro.
Yeah.
Mas Bro.
Yeah.
Type Mas Bro, then he'll know that you're actually requiring
Inquiry.
the details.
Yeah.
And they will send you. Okay, I just put it in the chat box.
Yeah.
Chat box. And then as you can see in the screen now, these are all the other activities that is going to happen in Lenggong. Okay, kita ada you tengok dalam screen apa di langit Lenggong is going to have they're going to have it in Mas Bro Hidden Village sebagai satu destinasi. Saya tahu Hafiz ada tak online? Oh, Hafiz tak ada, Hafiz was here today. And then we have also that Dog Ali untuk mengambil gambar, tapi dia bukan buat cafe, dia akan buat waterfalls. Dia akan bawa group dia for the waterfalls. And then we have another one yang tapi tak ada reporter di sini, is actually apa ni Alman, King of Lenggong. Are you there, Alman?
Ya bang, I'm here bang.
Okay. Alman, tolong cerita sikit bila kita akan buat the virtual dan juga the physical di Lenggong.
Okay, our plan for virtual run King of Lenggong Trail will be in August, 1st August. Bang nak get to the whole place just to get people from KL, probably 100 people to come and enjoy the stream.
Stream running.
Kita ada stream running. Kita ada plan tu masa King of Lenggong ni until October. So let's see. Saya akan communicate dengan abang direct nanti on this.
Baik.
Langkah kanan Datuk. Ini. Zami, proceed. Ya, proceed.
Okay, kita juga minta apa ni travel agent yang ada di malam ni, siapa yang nak menjadi agent untuk this run, virtual run ataupun the physical run, you boleh dapat peserta Langkawi, you boleh organize contohnya, you akan dapat contract rate lah, untuk ni, and then from KL kita ada 2-3 agent lagi, kita ada scheme, everything. Okay, siapa nak tanya soalan ataupun nak bagi pendapat, please enable your mic now. Zia, you want to say something? What do you think?
Masukkan slide sikit. Gambar-gambar yang abang bagi tadi ada.
Yeah, it was very good presentation, and that to explain the nature, very good nature. There's a very different concept. This kind of nature is, I think many countries have, but the concept of presenting and utilizing and leveraging the area, all this thing is a very easy to explain for those people who are very in love with the nature, respect the nature, they want to contribute and live in the nature. So last session we learned about very much like original organic jungle concept. So this is I think a very connecting chain that the concept is not only organic, not only natural, but it's also very affordable for those, I think, especially for domestic tourism as well. But for the international tourists, if you put this one this package in the like other inbound packages, so it is very attractive, one of the attractive programs.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. Why would you like to be our agent for the virtual run there in Pakistan? They just let you run in Pakistan. Yeah, seriously,
Yeah,
you can run
okay,
in Pakistan, and they will get the medal.
that's a good concept as well. So we can we have space for that, then we can talk on that, and then we can strategize how we can work. But these are the new things, and then we need to promote, and then the I'm confident actually that the people in Pakistan, we have like 4 different provinces. So some people like who living in the like Punjab, so they don't really see the nature, so they want to see the nature. For those, it's a very good attraction. For Sindh people, they are like very much sand area, all those things. So for them, it's very so. That is the those people who not only want to boost up their local tourism, but maybe they want to be agent, for the outbound agent. So for that, this is a good opportunity also. So we can integrate the program, and then we can together we can run it also.
Thank you. So I think we can work together with Zia and Pakistan for the virtual
Yeah.
run so that we can have more participants
Yeah.
for the King of Lenggong run. Okay. Alman kita bagi dia ya. Bagi dia.
InsyaAllah boleh.
Kita bagi Pakistan. Participant. Okay, kita
Yes, just before we conclude, just before we would like to invite our champion.
Thank you, Iswaran. Thank you, Zamir. And also I would like to thanks to our guest today, yang berbahagia Datuk Mas Faizil ataupun Abang Mas. Saya rasa saya belajar banyak lah di sesi pada hari ini. Sesi yang saya lihat Abang Mas ni, kita panggil Abang Mas. Abang Mas ni memang fokus lah. Dia tahu lah apa yang dia perlu buat. Dan satu ayat tadi dia kata kita nak try and error. Kita try and error. Itu sebenarnya satu sifat keusahawanan yang patut kita ada lah. Kita mungkin gagal hari ni tapi tak semestinya kita gagal esok. Ini satu saya rasa memberi semangat pada saya lah. Sekarang ni mungkin kita susah tapi tak semestinya kita susah selalu. Kita cuba sesama kita dan melihat dia punya fokus dia tak semestinya ramai maksudnya untung. Kita lihat ramai-ramai kita tengok bila kira balik kira apa pasal rugi kadang-kadang kita tengok bisnes bagus tapi apa pasal rugi. Itu satu lagi lesson, satu pengajaran yang saya belajar daripada Abang Mas hari ni. Kita lihat kita punya bottom line Kita lihat juga aspek education di mana Abang Mas kata kita semua kena memberi transform shift di mana rakyat Malaysia ni sentiasanya kata dulu tak suka camping, tapi sekarang ni dah makin lama suka camping tapi tak seberapa banyak. Dan juga tengok lihat toilet kita kadang-kadang kita suka apa ni kan, ramai antara kita ni geli tengok toilet tapi kita sendiri membasahkan toilet tu. Bila pelancong tengok, apa pasal basah ni toilet ni. Kalau kita tengok juga negara-negara ASEAN lain, negara Thailand, negara tempat teruk, saya pergi tempat-tempat kampung-kampung Thailand, cuma bersih dia punya toilet. Saya pun heran kenapa Thailand macam mana pun bersih toilet dia. Banding dengan kalau kita dekat R&R ke, R&R tu boleh not so bad lah. Tetapi tempat-tempat lain tu macam basah toilet dengan apa, kita nak pegang, nak pijak pun geli kan. Jadi ini satu pengajaran yang saya belajar daripada Abang Mas, di mana kita macam mana pun kita make sure kita punya KPI toilet must be clean every hour. Itu saya tak sangka dah sampai setiap jam. Ini apa yang kita belajar daripada Abang Mas. Saya rasa saya nak kena belajar lagi banyak lagi lah ilmu-ilmu daripada Abang Mas ni, di mana beliau telah berjaya menengahkan konsep-konsep sebegini yang mana kita nak perlukan banyak lagi lah. Kalau boleh Abang Mas, kita buat franchise lah Mas Bro ni, semua tempat supaya kita tahu yang Malaysia ni bukan hanya terdiri pada hotel-hotel yang besar-besar, tapi juga hotel-hotel yang niche yang boleh sustainable, yang boleh memberi keuntungan bukan saja pada usahawan tetapi juga dengan komuniti setempat. Itu sikit banyak soalan. Thank you very much for giving all the tips Abang Mas. Dan
thank you.
kawan-kawan kita yang lain tu kita belajarlah banyak-banyak. Kalau boleh cungkil apa-apa rahsia daripada Abang Mas ni.
Allah Allah.
Soalan.
Saya pun belajar lagi.
Terima kasih Tuan Zaidi Udanis. Terima kasih atas all the sokongan, all the initiative, dan tuan-tuan yang kami hormati, yang kami sanjungi. Kami ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Tourism Productivity Nexus dan MPC, Malaysia Productivity Corporation, bersama KETSA, Kementerian Sumber dan Alam, yang mana telah mengambil inisiatif ini untuk membangunkan tourism, to sustain tourism, to revive tourism. Dan kami ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada para peserta, para penonton dan juga host kita kerana sudi berkongsi apa keunikan Lenggong